Hello everybody, so this is going to be the crocheted double-ended dread tutorial. Now these dreads were already like previously sealed, but I didn't like how they sealed for some reason. It happens sometimes. Yeah, this is pretty much like a revamping dreads as well kind of thing. I can show you how to do that. Yeah, this is going to be the double-ended dread tutorial for crochet dreads. So the way I'm securing this on is I want to maintain like a good section of hair in the center of the double-ended dread, so it's easier to braid in, so it's not so stiff. So to do that, you're just gonna hold it like this and then wrap it like that. So it's nice and tight. It doesn't have to be at the top of your rig, whatever you're using to do that. And then just secure it like that. The reason I use these instead of like a piece of string or a tie or whatever is because like these can easily come off. If you have a problem with the dread, you can easily pull it off and whatever. But to revamp dreads, if you've already sealed them and stuff, pretty much what you do is you just pretty much like pull it apart, as like what I'm doing here. And these ones have never been worn, by the way. Never been worn. And you just pull them apart all the way to the end. I know you can't see what I'm doing, I'm just like, you know, just pull it apart at the ends, fluff it out. There we go. So because these were previously sealed, you'll notice that they do have a bit of a twist to them. That's perfectly fine. It's just like something you're gonna have to work around when you're revamping some dreads. I do this to my old sets sometimes if I get bored with them. I'll either go back into them and like crochet them, or just like make them a lot thicker by like backcombing them again. So take your backcombing brush, whatever you're using, really a comb or whatever. I use this. This is actually a dog brush. It has two sides on it. One with thicker spacings with the bristles, and another one with thinner spacings. You can also use like a flea comb and stuff for the ends and whatever. But yeah, I find this one works best for me. So what you're gonna do is pretty much re-comb this dread. So it's nice and puffy. The reason why we're re-backcombing it, even though it's already been backcombed and sealed, is so it loosens up some fibers. So we have some to work with when we're crocheting it. Now with this one, I'm going to be doing the same crochet that I did in my last video, which is a wrapped crochet. And that's when you wrap the hair around and then you pull it through so it's on the inside of the dread. I will be making a tutorial on the knotted crochet dread, but yeah. So as you can see, that this is a lot poofier than this one, so on this side. And you just want to do that all the way down to the bottom. So yeah, see how it's a lot poofier. And you want to do that to the same side. It's okay to have them both loose together. Normally I'll like put it back like here so it's out of the way, but this way it gets you don't have to like undo the ravel, and it doesn't get all like coiled and springy looking, unless you want it to be like curly. Then you can like wrap it around here, but otherwise I just let it dangle. It doesn't matter. Now when you're just making these like with normal hair, you would just backcomb the hair the way you want it and whatever. Now normally with dreads, after you backcomb them, I would tell you to palm roll them. Palm rolling, like with real dreads, makes it so the fibers stick together better. With crochet dreads, you don't really want to do a palm roll just because it makes all those fibers that you pulled out go back into the dread and stick. So if you were making regular double-ended dreads, you would palm roll. And I'll show you what I mean by palm roll in a second after I'm done vacuuming this. Like palm rolling is just like you have it in your palm like this, and then you go like this all the way down. All the way down the dread, just to make it so the fibers stick together. That helps with sealing as well. If you have problems sealing, go back in to the dread, re-back comb it, and then just give it a palm roll, and that'll help with it sealing if you have problems. So, as you can see, both of these sides are nice and fluffy. The middle portion that's up at the top where the hair will be secured to your head, that's not going to have any kind of like crocheted section to it. I did some earlier just to show you what I mean, kind of like that. This one, like you can see where it was on the thing, is right there, but that'll get fixed when you seal it. But yeah, pretty much like that. This is where it was on the stick thing. But yeah, so that's pretty much the end product is what it's going to look like. I know that you can't really see, mostly because like for some reason the red likes to be overexposed. But yeah, that's what you're going for with this. So it's pretty much the exact same kind of thing that we're doing here. I'm just going to move that out of the way. So to get started, especially with these kind, you want a starting point. So you're going to need to pull out some hair, like that. Doesn't matter if it like rips or whatever. So pull out some hair, like that. I'm using a number 8 crochet needle. And you're gonna pull this up, twist it with your fingers, like that. And then you're going to wrap it around the top part as close as you can to this without this, you know, getting in the way. So it's okay if you rip some out. So like just do that. As tight as you can, really, like that. And then you're going to take this section of hair that's in your fingers, if you can see what I'm doing, and take your left crochet needle, almost called it a latch hook again, put it through like that, through center up to the top. You should have like 2 like stripes of hair from like folding it over like that, and then you're going to take the end that you're holding, wrap it around your needle like that, and then pull it through, and then that will end up in the inside of your dread and stay secured like that. Now we're going to move all the way down the dread. I'll do a couple more so you can see what I'm doing. Just pull out some hair kind of and just wrap it around. Doesn't really matter which way you wrap it around. You can wrap it around one way and then do it another way. You can make it so it's crisscrossed and whatnot, but I prefer to have it all going one direction because it actually helps when you're sealing. So like if you're spinning the bottom part, because the very tip of the dread doesn't exactly get like crocheted just because of how thin it is, but it helps when you're sealing to have some of it at least near the bottom go one direction. So as you can see, like that's the strand right there that I pulled around the dread, and we're just going to pull it all the way through like that. So that would be on the inside of the dread, like so. So far you got like this much done. So I'm just going to continue on. Wrap it around. Break some off. Best thing about these kind of dreads is that they can be messy, doesn't matter. Because they're crocheted and they can look realistic. You can bring the hair up and make X's if you want. And the reason that these are a crocheted style dread is because you're touching it with a crochet needle. Some people would just be like, oh, that's a wrapping dread, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, nope. If I touch it with a crochet needle, it's a crochet dread. End of story. So, yeah. So just keep going down the dread. When you take sections and, like, puff out parts like this, it doesn't really matter how thick of a chunk you have. Like, you could wrap that all around and then pull it through. But like I said in my last video, the key to this is to wrap this hair upwards and then crochet down. So you're just gonna wrap that around like that. And it's like you wrap it down and then up, so it like gets matted to itself. Take your needle, push that up, wrap it around and crochet down. And this just ensures that the crocheted section that you pulled through stays knotted and stays in place. So it's all of this is secure. And the reason it's secure is because all of those strands that you crocheted into the dread will stay in there. I've noticed that some dread makers don't seal these kind of dreads, which is kind of, I find that interesting because with the ends, specifically like this, I've noticed that there's some that are on sale on Etsy that don't have sealed ends, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, just doesn't make sense. Yeah, I lurk, like, people's pages and stuff just to see what kind of stuff they're making. It also helps see what kind of method they use when they're making their dreads. I've noticed that a lot of them don't really, their back combs aren't tight, and the way they seal their dread is different than the way I seal mine. I use a flat iron method. There's a lot that use the boiling method with like a pot, and then there's some that use steamers. And with steamers, like, yeah, they work great, but sometimes their seal doesn't really work nicely. Just continue on till you reach the end. The end is pretty much the exact same as like the single-ended crochet dread that I showed you. Let's just back home some more of this. You might have to go back and back home some of it just to get like some of those fibers loose again. Just because like when you're working on the dread, you're pulling at it as well, so it's good to just keep your backcombing brush handy. Pull it like that. This weird suspicion that my computer is going to sound like an airplane when I edit this. Okay, we're getting to the end here. I know you can't really see what I'm doing unless I like wrap this up. So because this was previously sealed, you can see that it's like still spun, kind of. That's okay. If when you're working with yours, obviously it's not going to be like that. It's going to be loose. I plan to keep crocheting until I get to about this point. And what you want to do when you reach there is make a knot. So, show you what I mean. I might actually stop higher up. God, I sound weird. Sorry. Okay. Put around, pull it through. Because, like, essentially we're making knots here. This is how much hair I have left. That's perfectly fine for a crochet dread, because when we seal it, all of this will be sealed and it'll blend. But to end a synthetic dread like this, I don't know if I showed it in my previous video. I think I did. I'm not sure. But you take a piece of hair like that. You take that much out. I'm using red so you can see, but I don't think it's working too good. So what you would do is you have it like that, right? Take your crochet hook, lay it on your dread like this. Then what you want to do is take this and then wrap it around both the end of the dread and your crochet hook, like that. So you're wrapping down at this point. And then what you want to do is wrap up, so it makes like an X, kind of. And then while you're holding that, wrap the strand. Here, let's come closer. You want to wrap the strand around here and then pull it through, and that'll make a knot. So again, what I'm doing here to end this dread is you took out a piece of hair like this. You're gonna lay your fucking crochet needle, not a latch hook, your crochet needle down on your dread like that. It's kind of hard to show you. Like that. And you're gonna wrap this piece around it like this. Do you see what I'm doing? So you're wrapping it around it. And then you're going to take the ending part, this part of your loose hair that you're wrapping around, and then wrapping around this part of the needle, the top part, like that. And then what you're going to do, because this is all wrapped together, you're essentially doing a crocheted knot over top of the dread, and that will pretty much end the crocheted portion of your dread. So it will end up going underneath those loops that you made, like that. And you see although that little lump, that's a crocheted knot, and that will hold the crochet together, and then that just comes off like that. This would, well, it would be inside this, of course, but I have to put it in because I was like showing you. So like that's pretty much where the ending part is. This bit right here is the end of this, so you want to just pull that out like that. And just pull it as tight as you can, so you end up with like a knot at the end of your dread. So with your dread, it won't be like two separate things like this. It'll just be like loose hair. But because this is a previously like worked dread, you're just gonna like pick this apart so it's all loose fiber again, and then you're gonna take your comb and just like back comb the ends. That way it just blends that fiber together again, so it's not loose anymore. So there, you can't even tell that I pulled fiber out of it. And that's how you end a synthetic crocheted dread. You would do that on the exact same side, and I'll show you as well. Oh my god, this video is already 25 minutes long. So, do that. Take it off like there, and you see how this is all puffy and this is all crocheted sexy. What you want to do is, because like the way we had it on, you could have just like worked on it like that, but the spacing here was a little too far apart for my liking. So I'm just gonna wrap it around on a knot, kind of like there. So it still has that spacing part, but it's a little bit more tighter, so you can see like the crochet section there. So just pull it like that. Take your clamp thing, whatever the fuck you want to use to secure it on, and then just like fluff out your dread. You're pretty much doing the exact same process again. So just fluffing it out, fluff, blah blah blah, saying words, Jesse, words. Okay, we're just like fluffing it out, back combing it, so you get some loose fibers going, like that. Show you how to do that. Now sometimes when you do dreads like this, You can hear my neighbors fucking talking outside. Stupid fuckers. So like sometimes with crocheted dreads like this, especially when they're double-ended, if you went one way the first time, it might end up going the other direction by mistake, which is perfectly fine. It doesn't exactly do anything to the dread, but yeah, it happens. Which actually makes the dread look a lot cooler, I think. So you're just gonna puff out some hair, burp, you know, because that's classy. So, pull out some big chunk, why not? Just wrap it around. This is like the Magic Brand red hair. For some reason, it just doesn't want to fucking do its job. Just wrap that around like that. And it doesn't matter how thick your sections come out, or if they're just like just little puffs at the side that you wrap them around, or full-blown strands, because this is a wrapping dread. That doesn't exactly matter. So it's perfectly fine. Making excuses. But yeah. So essentially you do the exact same thing all the way down, and then you'd do the knot at the bottom. I just wanted to show you how to secure this part. So you can see that this is like kind of like a puffed out loose section, so this would like rest on your hair. And then you'd braid your hair down on like one side or whatever. But yeah, it's essentially how you make a double-ended crocheted dread. Let's put that there. So like, yeah, this is your end product. Pretty much the exact same as a single-ended dread. So yeah, pretty much all you do is like you secure it onto your hanger that's rigged to a chair or whatever you're using, a hook. You can use like clothing hook kind of things, like, you know, the metal ones that have a screw at the end. You can hook one of those to like a table or something and like make them that way too. I used to do that back when I didn't have a broken chair. But yeah, so you just attach it on, work on one side, and work on the other. What I used to do was work at both sides at once, that way I get it done faster. But sometimes that can get confusing and you can end up fucking up. But yeah, that's pretty much how you would make a double-ended wrapped crochet dread. I hope this video helped. Sorry that I didn't finish this one on camera, but I wanted this video to be like short and to the point kind of thing. So if you have any problems, feel free to message me on my Facebook page. It's www.facebook.com/justjessedb, I believe. I'll put a link in the description. Yeah, follow me on Instagram as Jessie Likes Bugs. I post pictures of dreads that I make and stuff on there. And yeah, any other links I can think of, I'll just put down there. I'll probably put some installation videos down there too, like my stages video on putting these in and whatever, I think. But yeah, thanks for watching, and have a nice day.